Hi, Cindy here. It's time to take Twitter and show you how you can take your message to a massive amount of people using some of the very simple basic tools that Twitter has already built in for you. So come on over to the platform and let's get started. I love Twitter. On the upper right-hand side of your Twitter page is a little icon of a person and a drop-down button. Drop down there and go to Settings. Okay? In the Settings now is where you can make all of your customization. So your account information is right here. You're going to be able to set your time zone. You're going to be able to add locations to your tweet, which is especially good if you are a business like a bricks and mortar business. You get to choose to tell Twitter if you have sensitive tweets with sensitive content. I do not. And then there's a button called Protect My Tweets. And here's where people tend to make a mistake. People think, oh, I'd like to protect my tweets. Well, that's not really what that does. Protect My Tweets actually puts a lock on your Twitter account, and no one can follow you unless you give them permission. So do not protect your tweets. We are on Twitter for business. Don't make it hard for people to have a relationship for you. Leave that unchecked. Then there's use the HTTPS only. That's a more secure server, so I do that. You choose the country where you live, and you press Save Changes. Re-enter my Twitter. Okay, it wants me to... asking me for my password again, which I'll be happy to do. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is go into the password section, and this is the place where you can change your password. Next down is mobile, and this is where you can add your phone number to Twitter. And Twitter's a lot more fun, really, if you are able to tweet from live events, if you're able to tweet on the road, if you're able to tweet from wherever you are. Twitter is really a very mobile application. So I recommend that if you are going to be using it for business and you are traveling a lot for business and you are doing interesting things, that you enable the ability to tweet from your mobile phone. You can also choose to let people find you by your phone number. I do not do that. I don't want to be called by the 32,000 people that are following me. Notifications. When you first set up your page, Facebook will send you an email every time someone DMs you, which is direct messages you, every time they send you an @reply or a mention, every time they do anything that connects with your account. In the beginning, when you are first setting up your account, you might actually like to do that. You might like to hear from Twitter every time someone joins so that you can go in and say, oh, I'm so glad you joined and we're connected, and you can have conversations. But after a while, those emails will clog up your email inbox, and you will really hate it. So I turn off most of my notifications. In fact, I turn off all of my notifications except for updates from Twitter. And I'll show you a little bit later why I do that, because I have another way of keeping up with what's going on Twitter throughout the day, and I do not need to have emails about it. Okay, the next thing you go to is Profile, and here is where you can upload your avatar, your picture. You can choose to change that at any time you want. You can name your page, put your name in, and that's what will appear at the top of your page next to your page name. Show where you live. You can put your live clickable URL with the HTTP and 160 character bio. Now 160 characters actually includes all of the spaces. So I recommend that you pull up a Word doc and play around with your bio, making and so that you can do a word a character count before you paste it into this little box. I want you to use keywords. And again, what are keywords? Keywords are the words that someone would enter into search on Google or Bing or AOL if they were trying to find the service that you provide. So use one or two of those keywords and a really succinct description about what it is you do, what it is you offer, because that's how people search for you. And remember that your Twitter account is indexable, and so the Google bots. I'm saying Google, but I mean everybody. All of the search engines find your Twitter account based on the keywords that you put into things like your bio. This is a nifty little tool. If I want to post my tweets to Facebook, I can use it. Don't. I don't want you to do that because Twitter is a truncated language. It's a shorthand language. It's a language that only exists on Twitter. It's a text-like language. And Facebook is a little bit more about full sentences, a couple of ways in which Facebook talks are a little bit different than regular full sentences, but Twitter is way too different and unique of a language for you to post it to Facebook. I find it annoying. I make sure that my clients don't do this. So we're going to save those changes if we have any. I didn't have any changes there. Let's go to design. Remember that I've already showed you how to set up so that your Facebook posts go to Twitter, but I don't want your Twitter posts to go back to Facebook. Under design, you can either upload a custom design that someone has, either you or a designer has made for you, or Twitter gives you a bunch of pre-made themes that are very nice. Having a design made for the back of your Twitter back, as people call them, can be about $99. If you don't have $99, go to this page and just pick one of the established themes, one of the pre-made themes. They're very pretty, and you can use it until you decide that you want to customize your own. I have my own customized background already uploaded, customized colors, and they're all that way because they mesh with the branding that I have on my website. But when you're just beginning, you should know that the majority of people are looking at your tweets through their mobile devices or through some third-party application, so they aren't actually seeing your background. Your background is a nice-to-have versus a must-have. And when we're first starting out, it's important to know what the nice-to-haves are, but it's also important to know what the must-haves are. All you need is a picture, a name, a customized bio, and go ahead and avail yourself of one of the pretty backdrops that Twitter has already designed, okay? Now let's look at apps. There are literally thousands of applications to help you use Twitter better, and each one of them asks to access your Twitter page so that it can do whatever it does. You can allow that access and take advantage of what the apps offer, and you can always rescind that access at any time under this apps column. So I use something called simplymeasured.com, which gives me some analytics on my Twitter account and helps me do a better job of making sure that I'm engaging and really hitting my mark with my messages. So I look at my analytics every week to see if people are retweeting, if people are commenting on my posts. So there are a lot of apps. There's something called Backupify, Backupify, Backupify.com. And Backupify will actually back up your Twitter stream so that all that fabulous content you're posting in microblog form at just 140 characters can be backed up in case you want to write a book of all of the tweets you've ever made. And believe me, it's been done. So you might want to think about Backupify as one of the apps you want to use. I won't go through all of the Twitter applications that I use, but suffice it to say, Social Sprout is another one that gives me business analytic tools and tells me a little bit about my Twitter stream and helps me do a better job. Bufferapp.com is another one that I really enjoy using. Manage Flitter, F-L-I-T-T-E-R, is a terrific app. It is not a free app. I do think they have a free version, but it also gives analytics. So I'm constantly trying out analytics management systems because I review them on my blog. So I have a lot of apps on here, but that's where you find your apps. And that's the back end of Twitter. So you find it under Settings, And this is how you change anything that you want to on your Twitter page. So let's go to the home page. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I do each and every morning when I get up. Now remember, I promised you that you could do your social media in just 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. And Twitter seems the most overwhelming to people. So I want to show you some tips and tricks that get me in and get me out with the maximum visibility for myself on Twitter. Every morning, I come to my home page, I sign in, I look, and I note for myself how many people are following me. So I have 32,936 followers at the moment. I want to make sure that that's steadily growing. If it suddenly drops off, I want to look and see where there's some posts that offended people. Am I not engaging with people? Are they not interested in what I have to say? That's simply information. I don't do a lot with it, but I check it. Then I go to this thing that says @connect. That @ sign is the universal Twitter sign. And I click on that, and I have two opportunities here. I can look at interactions, which tells me some new people who have followed me, some people who have tried to reach out to me, people who might have retweeted and passed on information. So this person retweeted something that I said. That little green arrows going both ways is the retweet symbol. And retweet is simply they pressed a button and shared what I said because they thought it was good and they thought the people who followed them would be interested. Then I click on mentions. And these are people who are actually trying to talk to me, and they're trying to talk to me in Twitter language by saying @brand_new. @brand_new. How are you? Long time no chat. Nice to see you. So I'm going to, I know this person at Black Forest Deli, and I'm going to say, so nice to hear from you. I'm in so nice to hear from you in San Francisco now at a conference. So I can do that. And what I do is I go down and I look, is anybody trying to talk to me? Is anybody asking me a question? Do I see anybody who has retweeted me? And then I'm going to thank them for retweeting me. Okay, so I can do that. I literally did that. I've scanned my thing here to see if there's anybody else that I need to say something to. If I've already answered it, this little green button will appear in the upper right-hand corner of the post. So I know I've already taken care of that. I've looked at all of these. This person has the Twitter egg as their picture. So I will never click on a link by this person until they put a picture up, because I can't really guarantee myself it's a real account. And I never click on links that don't tell me why I should click on them, what it is that they want me to see, because they're either spam or porn or advertisements, or maybe they are even a virus. So I don't click on anything unless I understand. See, here's another one. Woman laying in bed, don't really want to talk to her because she's not telling me anything. She's just posting a link. And so I'm just going to ignore that. All right, so I have done my @mentions. Now, again, every morning I'm going to go into this little hashtag that's called Discover. And in here is a nifty little link where Twitter is actually recommending to me people that I might be interested in following based on the keywords I'm using in my tweets. And one of the core tenets of building your Twitter account in the beginning is for you to follow people. I recommend that you go out and follow 100 to 200 people every day. And I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do that so it doesn't take a lot of time. I still do it every single day so that I can find new people. And one of the ways that you find new people is to follow new people. So I'll go in here and say, okay, Twitter is suggesting that I follow these people. So I might go right down the line, and I have a certain criteria for the kinds of people I follow. I want to make sure that they have a link on their page, and I want to make sure they have a picture, and I want to make sure that they are an actual, they look to me to be an actual person, that they've put some time and energy into their Twitter account, and so I follow them. All right. Now, the other way that I find to follow people that's very quickly, that's very, very quick, is I will go to the page of somebody that I already follow who I really value, and I will see what kinds of lists they've created. Lists are a way to filter the stream. So first I'm going to show you how to create lists, and then we'll go over and I'll show you how I use lists. Under your drop-down box is a tab called Lists. Click on Lists. And this will show you all the lists you've already created. I've created 20 lists, and Twitter allows you to create 20 lists. So if I'm following somebody, let's go find Lisa McKenzie, who is a friend of mine. She won't mind me using her in my video. I'll click on her, go to her account, and look at her lists. But first I might want to add Lisa to a list. So I'll go up to the top, find this little icon with the drop-down button, go down to where it says Add to List. Okay, I'm going to put Lisa on Fearless Female Bloggers. That's one of my lists because I know she's a blogger. For some reason I'm not following her, even though I know I am, so I don't know what that's all about. Okay, now I will go over to Lisa's lists again. And she has a list called Top Entrepreneurs. She has one for Blog Her 11 attendees and for Blog Her 12 people. They're both for Blog Her 11. Okay, I'm going to Blog Her this year, so I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be interested in people who like going to Blog Her. So I'm going to click on that list. And then up here, there are 139 members, and I'm going to click on that. And now Twitter has just filtered the stream to show me only the people's accounts who are on that list called Blog Her 11. So I know they were interested in Blog Her in 2011, and I'm going to go right down the list and follow them. And if I wanted to take the time, I could actually add each one of them to my own list. Or I could simply subscribe to this list and follow them all. But the reason I'm not going to do that is because I want each of these women to know that I have followed them, because they will see that in their own accounts, and I'm hoping that they will follow me back and we will have a mutual Twitter relationship. So you see how fast I was able to follow about 13, 14 people? And that's what I do every morning. I go to a list that I think is interesting, I filter it so I can see just the people in this format, and I follow them. Then, once a week, I go to an application, a web-based application called Tweepy.com. It's TWEEPI.com. And I sign in with my Twitter account, and it shows me of all the people that I am following who is not following me back. And if they have not followed me back within 2 weeks, that's my sort of window that I've decided for myself, I unfollow them because it's clear to me that they're not interested in having a Twitter relationship with me. And that way I keep my Twitter stream basically filled with people who want to have a two-way relationship on Twitter with me. So that's Tweepy, TWEEPI.com, and the function on Tweepy.com is called flush. So you're flushing away those people who are not really interested in having a Twitter relationship with you. The other thing I do is I believe in following back automatically everyone who follows me. Now I can easily go, I can go into, let's go to my home plate. Okay. And I can see who all the people who are that I am following. I can actually filter the stream for the 36,000 people I'm following, and I can slowly scroll down here to see if there are any that that I might want to delete. I just wanted to let you know you can do that. But it is really hard to find who is not following you back. Let's go to followers. Okay, so in here, okay, lost my train of thought there for a second. I was talking about auto follow. Okay, I can go in here. These are people who have followed me since this morning. So I can go in and I can follow them one at a time like this. But now when you have a really big account, like, 36, 32,000, it takes a lot of time to go in and do that by hand. So I've done a fix for this, which is called, it's literally a set it and forget it kind of thing. I go to social2.com, and that's SOCIALTOO.com. And for $10, I have set up an account with Social2 and linked my Twitter account to it and instructed Social2 to automatically follow anyone who follows me. That's the only thing I have Social2 do. I paid $10 4 years ago. I never have to go back there again. They have a lot of other functions, so if you do sign up, go ahead and see if there's some things that you want it to do. But for me, I just want it to auto-follow because I want to follow everyone who is invested in clicking and trying to have a relationship with me. And for me, that's been a success strategy. I have a very, very big, vibrant, Twitter profile, so I want. I think it works. So that's my tip. I think I skipped over a little bit about creating lists. So here's what I want to show you. Let's go back to Lisa McKenzie. And let's try to add Lisa. Say I've already added Lisa to one of the lists I have, but let's say that Lisa is, I want to add her to a different list. I want to call a list. I want to create a list. Down here at the bottom, I put on create a list, and I can say, Saco female peeps. Okay? And in the description, I might say women who tweet value. Okay? And now, if I didn't already have 20 lists, I can't actually create this list because I have 20 lists, and that's all that Twitter will let me have. But I would simply press Save List, and this list would be created. And Lisa would be able to tell that hold on. Okay, I'm going to go to my profile page and show you. Lisa would actually be able to tell that that I have added her to a list, and she'll know by going into her own lists. So adding someone to a list with a really aspirational name like A-listers or fantastic resources or really smart people is a good thing. You can take the URL for the list. So here's a list from an event that I spoke at, and it was called Spark and Hustle, and it was Tori Johnson down in Philadelphia. So I'm going to go to this list of members. Okay, and right up here at the top is the URL for this list. So I can actually copy and paste the URL into a tweet and say, and maybe I want to tell, let's just see who this is. Maybe I want to tell Monica Hall how happy I am to have her on my list. So I'm going to say, at Monica, I added you to my Spark and Hustle list. Because you're awesome. Okay, then I can tweet that. Now I've told Monica that I have her on a list. She's aware of me. She knows that I have a list of other cool women. She's going to come back and perhaps follow some of the people on my list. But I'll be top of mind for her today because in her stream she's going to see, at Monica, I've put you on a really cool list. So that's just a strategy for how you might use lists. But for me, the biggest way to use lists is to filter the stream so that I know what's going on. So in the morning, again, I come in, I look at my @replies, I look at see who's talking to me, and then I go right to lists, and I pick a different list every day. Let's go to my lists. Come on, Twitter. Take me to lists. . Okay, I'm having a little bit of an internet glitch here, but here's the thing. I can actually go to a list, click on a list, and the only thing that I will see at that moment are the tweets from the people who are on that list. So if I have a list of 100 people so I have 32,000 people that I'm following or that are following me, and I have 100 people that I really care about what they're saying today. I want to know, these are technology people who know the latest things about Facebook fan pages and what's changing and what's not. They're people who are going to conferences that I'd like to go to. They are people who are speakers and people who I would love to have a business relationship with. So I will click on that list, and now my Twitter stream does not show me the tweets of 32,000 people. It shows me the tweets of 100 hand-picked people. That's the power of lists. So literally in 3 minutes, I can scroll down that list and see who's saying something that I would like to share with my followers. I will click either retweet, or I will copy and paste their whole tweet and say, wow, Bob, great advice, and paste that into my Twitter box and tweet it out to my people. Then Bob knows that I loved what he had to say. He sees that I'm sharing it with my fan base. He has some more ambient awareness of who I am as a person and that I like the same things he likes. He will most likely come back and say, thanks for sharing that tweet. I'll go back and I'll tell him why I shared that tweet and how much I value the content that he shares every day. And suddenly we're having a back and forth conversation and we're starting to form a real relationship. Do that more often with the kinds of people you'd like to be in business to, and that's how you build up a tribe of people who really know, like, and trust you. And I do this every single day, and I really have it down to the point where I only spend 15 minutes in the morning and I only spend 15 minutes in the night. And finally, I want to show you one last tool that really does save me so much time. It's called Hootsuite, Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a web-based platform that allows me to bring every Twitter account that I manage into one platform and to see all of the streams at once. So @BrandU is my main Twitter account, and I'm able to see who mentioned me right alongside the last tweets I sent, right alongside the direct messages that people are trying to send to me, and then the home feed. And there are a couple of other options. There's a direct messages that I've sent to others. So I can see this right in a flash. Now I can make my screen smaller so you can see more of it. So I will come here in the morning after I've checked out my Twitter account live just to see what's going on, and I'll say, okay, bam, Diane, hey, thanks so much for sharing that. For your support. Okay, send that right out. I will go through my home feed and real quick see if there's anybody that I could retweet or say something to. I've been designing graphics for the last 3 hours break time. And I'm going to say, graphic designers are the stars of the moment. And tweet that out to her. Okay, so now we've had a little moment of relationship, and she will notice that I talked to her directly, and we'll start a conversation. And it's just like being at a cocktail party. You go up to a small group of people, and you start to talk. And that's all I'm doing at Twitter is I'm listening to a little bit of the conversation, and then inserting myself in the conversation and trying to keep the conversation going. So this is cyber conversation, but it has the same kinds of rules that it has if you were there in real life. So every day, I want you to post 5 times a day, and that's why I like Hootsuite, because Hootsuite is a scheduler platform. So if I want to say something later on about I'm going to do something inspirational. You make the choice every day to succeed or to fail? What will it be today? Okay, that's what I'm going to post. I'm going to go right down here in the lower right-hand corner of that box and schedule this because I don't want it to go out right now. I want it to go out at 7 o'clock tonight p.m. after everybody's home from work and they're checking in after dinner. I'll click that I want it to go out from my Brand You account, and now it's in the scheduler. So every morning I'm posting 5 of these, and I'm scheduling them to go out at approximately 7, 10, 12, 3, and maybe 6 o'clock or maybe 8 o'clock, just depending on what I feel like. I want them to be visible I want my name to be visible throughout the stream, throughout the day. But I'm really only there for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. So you can be too, but yet your presence, your name, your brand image can be in that stream all day long, gathering people to you based on the keywords that you use, both in your bio and in your posts. So of those 5 posts that I want you to make every day, I would like one of them to be right from your Facebook page because I want you to post to Facebook every day. So the Facebook to Twitter application, facebook.com/Twitter that you set up in your earlier in the earlier trainings, is posting one post to your Twitter account every day. So that's one of the 5. Then I want you to @reply somebody, respond to somebody who actually talked to you using that @ and you'll find them again. You'll find those @replies by going to your @connect at the top and looking at mentions. So all I want you to do is find somebody. I always want you to reply actually to anyone who's talking to you, but at least one of those needs to be an @reply. Then one of them needs to be a thank you. Find someone who said something nice about you and thank them. Let them know you see them. Let them know that you heard them, that they were not tweeting into the dark. Thank them. Then I want you to start a conversation like I just did. I found somebody who was saying something. I replied her, and I said something to her about her business. She's in the graphic arts arena, and now that Facebook has gone to timeline for both profiles and business pages, I think graphic artists rock, and everybody's going to need to know some. So that was a strategic move on my part, as well as a conversation starter. And then finally, I want you to post one link or resource or tip or strategy that you would give to a client. I want you to give something away, give some of your knowledge away. In that way, you demonstrate that you're a leader in your industry and you give people a reason to find and follow you. So those are my core, if you do nothing else but post 5 times a day, post those kinds of posts, answer the people who talk to you, and follow 200 people a day, you will steadily build your Twitter base so that you have a large group of people who are ready and waiting for your message or your brand or your offering, and they will help you amplify that message throughout the Twitter sphere. Now, there are a lot of much more advanced things that you can do, but these are the must-dos versus the nice-to-dos. And we'll talk about the nice-to-dos in a later module. So get tweeting. Please tweet me @BrandU. I promise I will answer you. Tell me that you saw this video and we'll start a conversation. And when I answer you, that increases your visibility in the stream and it increases my visibility in the stream. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. I'm looking forward to talking to you.